The contents of this video are going to surprise you, considering the fact that yours truly is a dating coach, but the stuff needs to be said. And what needs to be said is this: dating coaches lie to you. How so? I'm going to explain. The dating scene, the pickup scene, whatever you want to call it, like the men's manosphere, dating specifically related scene, is based on one assumption. And the assumption it's based on is that you are an average man and you will never be more than an average man. So what do I mean by average? Average in terms of looks, average in terms of success, average in terms of your general level of confidence. You're just average, you're bottom, like you're run of the mill. But not only are you just average, you can't rise above it. So then what dating coaches show you how to do is to come up with tricks or techniques that are designed to help you to ensnare women even though you are actually average. What do I mean? Okay, like in one of the last videos I did a reaction to Coach Kyle, and Coach Kyle, he goes out and he approaches a couple of women and it goes really well for him. But the thing is this: what dating coaches will tell you to do, and what I've done tons of, what I've told men to do in the past, is to go out and spend hours after hours after hour doing Daygame. And like you're running around in the streets trying to prove yourself to all these women and just basically spending loads and loads and loads of time. There's other ways to attract women. You could just become the kind of man who the women already know exists and who they want to meet, and you kind of magnetize women to you. You can do that yourself. But of course, if you're just an average man and women like to date up, and most women, the kind of women that you're attracted to, aren't really going for average men, you then have to develop techniques to pull those women to you, which involves like running around and chasing them. And the thing is this, it's like when you learn men's dating techniques, when you learn game, things like this, you're basically just learning to successfully chase women. Do you build confidence in other areas? Yeah, you do. I mean, you go out and do enough Daygame and you boost your resilience because you've been rejected a ton and you learn how to talk to people. That is very true. But for the most part, you are just building the ability to attract women itself. That's kind of what you're doing. So outside of someone like me, I turn this into a business. Coach Kyle has turned this into a business. But outside of people who decide to become coaches themselves, you just learn a very specific skill that you spent so much time dedicating your life to. So much time, like hours after hour after hour. Like Daygame. You're going out 2, 3, 4 nights a week for 2 hours at a time. You're going out and doing night game. How much time are you doing this? To like raise the skill. You're working on your text game. Months, years. And I have done this, right? I'm speaking this from experience, and I'm not fundamentally saying that you shouldn't do it. I'm not, because it does have value, but there's better ways. Because the truth is this, right? You can spend a couple of years learning game, and you can. And at the end of those couple of years, you will be the same guy that you are. Or you can build yourself up to be the kind of man that women automatically want. And you know what the truth is, right? This is the actual just categoric God's honest truth. Most guys who do game, even the ones who are very good, aren't very good at actually retaining women. So, you're good at putting on a facade which initially attracts the woman. Yeah, you don't have much going for you. You don't have much oomph, much pizzazz. You don't have like a rock solid core or a great life that keeps her around. What you have is enough to entertain her for a couple of nights or a month or two. That's it. And then constantly losing women. So you're getting women, but you're losing them. You're getting them, but you're losing them. Is it better than not having any? Yes, it is, but it's not really actually what you wanted. Whereas what you could do is this: you could work on yourself holistically. So you could build your career, you could build your finances, you could get in shape. Most importantly, you could build status, and you can freaking build a rock solid inner core. So what's that? It's like your core is, or your frame, who you see yourself as and who you genuinely believe yourself to be. Like genuinely work on that. Work on everything, and the women will actually come. Like for instance, you spend 2 years, and in those 2 years you work out a lot and you get in great shape. As well as that, you work on your social skills and your confidence, and you're doing this and you're going out there and putting yourself in social situations and learning how to navigate the social waters and talk to people and be open and vibrant and confident in conversations and all of this sort of stuff. But as well as that, you're working on your career as well, boosting your finances. As well as that, you are building like an amazing social circle. You go out to friggin' martial arts club and you get to know people at the club and you build yourself up in the martial arts scene, and you do that for a couple of years. Now, at the end of the couple of years, you've got women coming up to you all the time, because the other women in that martial arts scene, they see you, they see the body, they see the confidence, they see the status that you have from being there. They know, well, you got some kind of cash behind you because you're probably going out and doing things with the martial arts people, or setting things up, or you're paying for trips, or whatever it is that you're doing. And they want to be around you and they want to be around your energy. So they're kind of magnetized to you anyway. So then when you speak to these women, you don't have to try to impress them as much as you do in Daygame. You see, the thing is this, when you do Daygame or night game or message game or whatever, it is predicated on the notion that the woman doesn't know who the hell you are and therefore doesn't trust you, which is true. She doesn't. So you are trying to show her in a short period of time that you're actually not a loser, but she assumes that you are a loser. Ergo, she is primed to just ignore you or ghost you or whatever. But if she already knew you had status, you wouldn't have to try so hard to impress her. You wouldn't. For instance, I say this to my clients all the time, right? Whenever I have my clients, I say, do you think Kendrick Lamar or Drake or Chris Brown or someone like this has to worry about being witty or flirtatious in text messages? And my clients always say no. And I go, well, why do you think that is? And then they go, well, because it's Chris Brown. It's like, that's the point. That is the pinnacle of what I'm speaking about. The only reason why you need to worry about what you text a woman is because if she doesn't think you have any value, she's judging you off every message you send. But if she knows you have value, then she's just happy to get a message from you because it's you. And it doesn't really matter how witty your message is. I noticed this personally for myself years ago when I did a challenge. It was a 6-month challenge of me getting myself into the best possible shape of my life, right? And not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, all of this sort of stuff. I worked on myself daily. I was meditating. I was going to the gym. I was journaling. I was sitting in the sauna. I was doing positive affirmations. Whatever. I did this stuff every day. Anyway, I noticed that women who saw me, like women who was like in my orbit, because I posted this on my social media, they were all reaching out to me and all very excited when I messaged them. So I'll just message them and say, hey, and they're like, oh, hey, Kieran, hello, hi, thank you for speaking to me. I'm so glad to have this interaction with you, because it was me, because they saw what I was doing and they had a really positive influence about me, and they wanted to be around that energy. That's honestly what you could be doing and what you should be doing as well. But dating coaches won't tell you that. They won't. I mean, I'm telling you, but most won't. I mean, is game great to have? Yeah, it is. It is. I'll tell you why. So if we take like Fresh and Fit, right? We look at Myron from Fresh and Fit. Myron is a man who has zero game whatsoever. If you just look at the way he interacts with women, it's all very logical. He beats them down with superior intellect. He makes them feel stupid, but I've never once seen him make a woman chuckle, giggle, laugh, or whatever. However, he is a very attractive man because he has status and he has confidence and he's got money and blah, blah, blah. Like, he still has some things. That is true. However, if he had game as well, he'd be blowing women out the water. There are men out there who actually do have their finances together, who actually do have their lives together to a large degree. But because they don't have the ability to emotionally connect, they don't have any game, these men actually struggle. That is true. It's true, right? So having game is good. It's not like you shouldn't have it. Because I've had a lot of clients who are like, Kieran, I've actually got my crap together. In fact, these are my perfect clients. Kieran, I got my crap together, but for some reason I can't get it together with women. But those men don't need much. They need just like a little Really, all you need is this. Let me just say this again. You basically need get yourself in shape. And you know, they say, oh, like, looks don't matter. It's like, it helps. Number one, it helps. It doesn't matter that much, but it helps. And it does show a certain degree of self-respect. Get your finances together. Do a lot of inner work. This is really important. This is so important. Spend so much time alone with yourself, facing the man in the mirror and basically coming to terms with everything that's inside you. That's so key, because at the end of the day, it's like this. Whenever you're in front of a woman and you start to feel a list of that stuff bubble up, those fears, those insecurities, that is what's going to sink you. That is it. However, you work on those and they're gone, and then the women are like, whoa, who is this guy? Like, whoa. You got to work on yourself. Spend a lot of time, like meditate, journal. What's the one? Self-talk. Self-talk is key, critical. So, for instance, me, yours truly, I spend a lot of time talking to myself every day. And I used to listen to like tons of Netflix and things like this and YouTube and I still do listen to a bit of YouTube, but to be honest, if I'm listening to YouTube now, it's like something like self-helpy or whatever, but I don't even do that a lot. But the basic point is I used to do that so much, but now I'm just like alone on my own. And when you're alone on your own, you feel like little negative thoughts bubble up, and then you challenge those thoughts. You challenge them. It's like, nah, we're not having that. And little by little, you fight this like campaign in your brain, and like 1% incremental improvement every day. I googled daily compound interest calculator. So if you improve by 1% every day over the course of a year, do you know how much it is at the end of the year? Well, at the end of 6 months, it's you're basically 188% better. You start at 100%. At the end of 5 months, you're 188%. However, at the end of 1 year, do you know where you are? You're like at 450%. So you're like 4 times better than you were in a year before, if you just improve by 1% per day. And that's basically what you want to do that. Am I saying that you shouldn't go out and do day game and things like this? I don't know, man. Like, if you want to do it. It is good. It does help you build social confidence and things like this. I mean, you shouldn't not do it. You shouldn't. It will help, but it shouldn't be like the linchpin of what you do. If you're doing like a bunch of things to improve yourself as a man, and one of those things is going out and doing some day game, then. But fundamentally, if you make chasing women the focal point of your self-development, you will more or less just get good at chasing women. And unless you are somebody like moi or Coach Kyle or God knows who else, who have found a way to turn this into a career, you've kind of wasted your time. Well, not wasted, but you haven't used it as effectively as you could have. I discovered this scene in 2001, way back when I had a red and black lumberjack and the hat to match. That's how long ago that was. But anyway, the point is this: really and truly, if I could go back, you want to know what I would do? I would have younger me discover Think and Grow Rich. I would actually have younger me discover that, or something like that, or Hustle Harder, Work Smarter by 50 Cent, which granted wasn't made then, but you get the point. I would do that. I would much rather learn, like, build yourself up as a man first, and then, like, do a tiny bit of game as, like, the creme de la creme, like the pièce de résistance. I'd much rather do that than actually go the other way and then just, like, get good at initially approaching women and initially attracting women, but lacking all these other areas as well. But anyway, this is it for me, and for the love of all that's good and holy, I forgot to say at the start of this video that I'd like you to subscribe to the channel. I don't know why I keep doing that, but please do subscribe, please, because everything I say, it comes from the heart, the HEART, and just trying to keep it real and give out information that helps and transforms and does a lot of good shit. But with that said, merci beaucoup, take care and see you.